We decided if our current congresswoman wouldn't do anything about the issues we care about, why not us?
Ray Reed is 25 years old and one of the many political voices that make up Gen Z. We're talking about people born from 1997 to 2012. He's part of a new movement that's making a bid to take on the establishment in Washington.
The most underrepresented demographic in Congress is Generation Z. We need
new,
fresh, young voices in our government.
This year, the oldest members of Gen Z became eligible to run for congressional office. Reed, a progressive Democrat, launched a campaign last fall for Missouri's 2nd congressional district. His political activism was sparked after a backyard bonfire with friends the day after the 2020 presidential election.
We're just talking about the issues that we care about. We care about student loan forgiveness, we care about universal health care, we care about union rights, we care about reproductive rights. And what stood between me and working on those issues was this federal office.
Reed was defeated in his primary, but there are other Gen Z candidates running. Former Trump aide Caroline Leavitt won the Republican nomination in New Hampshire. And Maxwell Frost, a March for Our Lives organizer, won the Democratic nomination in Florida. Political analyst and sociology professor Dr. Salas Lee at Xavier University of Louisiana says Gen Z's involvement in politics will only grow and many are ripe to run.
It's a very courageous generation in the sense that they recognize the challenges that they have inherited, but they are not afraid or insecure about addressing them.
Dr. Lee says there are many misconceptions about this generation.
The stereotype is that they rely more on social media and technology. In reality, Generation Z is a generation that values in-person communication. They see it as a value in terms of authenticity, relatability, reassuring people, something that social media and technology cannot replace. So it's a very balanced generation that more people, one, have to learn about.
And when it comes to political experience, that could go either way.
Certainly, some candidates who are in Generation Z, depending on their experience, level of maturity, their ability to communicate and reassure voters about what they will do for them. We've seen the opposite happen with candidates that were more seasoned and older. People say, well, they should give it up. You're too old, or you cannot relate to people.
Lack of experience was one of the big criticisms Reed says he faced during the campaign.
He's a kid. He doesn't really belong here. Maybe if we were to get him in the system for a few years and teach him how to play the game our way, then maybe one day he'll be ready. But my attitude towards that was, people weren't necessarily looking for someone who knew how to play the game better. They wanted someone who could stop the games being played in Washington.
And Gen Z is not waiting for anyone to solve their problems. That also means heading to the polls. In 2020, Gen Z showed out in record numbers. Since then, more than 8 million have turned 18 and are eligible to vote this midterm.